destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hello and welcome to See It Clearly. I'm your host, Michael Carson. I want to thank Kenny Babyface Edmonds for opening up the show today with We Got Love. Let's do let's do this for a second. I hate to cut it out. This is the newest track from Babyface. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have a real interesting show. My guest, G. Brian Benson. Brian to me, because his friends are allowed to call him Brian. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This show is it's about mental health today. It's about your dreams. It's also about a Renaissance man. I feel that Brian, I know Brian's looking behind him because he doesn't think it's him, but when you hear about Brian's story and what he's done and what he's decided to do, that's what a Renaissance man does. He rediscovers himself. He puts himself into situations that are comfortable, uncomfortable, known, not known, endless, tiring. And that's what you've kind of been doing for the last, 20 years now? You've
Yeah, but it was 6.
6 years?
I left the family business 6 years
It's
ago.
only 6?
Yeah.
Seems like 20 years worth of stuff you've been doing.
I'm
thinking of all your triathlons and all this stuff, too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that was
Yeah, because that's part of being a Renaissance man as well, is pushing your little self and your body and mind to the boundaries. And so today, you've got a lot to live up to.
I'll do my best.
Starting with that
introduction.
Yeah. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm so glad to have you back. And one of the reasons I wanted to have you back is because you have a perspective that similar to mine, where we are sort of a one-man army. And anything that we create and do, if it doesn't come from inside of us, it's really not going to happen. And you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah. And being that you are an author and a poet and just a couple of the books, you may have seen Brian before, but we have Brian's List, which is... this is in my guest bathroom, and
it's a great bathroom book.
And I leave it, and I leave like the bookmark from your Guitar Man flyer that's in there, and I'll leave it in there. And when someone uses the bathroom, I'll find that it's in a different place each time. So people are looking at it, and
awesome. Finding balance while they're in the restaurant.
They're finding balance while they're eliminating negativity. Very well. So I want to thank you for stimulating my guests and giving them ideas. It's great, yes, but it's definitely, and I have washed it, so I sanitized the book. So stay away from the book. But right now you're working more in acting than you are in authoring. Yeah,
I just kind of follow my intuition. I will write more books, and I've actually kind of been thinking about my next one. I've got a lot of stuff written, like 1.5 books worth of material that I think I might be starting to kind of piece together. So
excellent.
Yes, you're correct. I've been more actoring and pushing my boundaries and comfort zones there, and it's been fun. It's been scary. It's been great.
It's been what acting is.
It's been what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Yeah.
And I went to the Burbank Film Festival yesterday. I saw the closing film. It's called Marcia Hunt's Sweet Adversity. And we had the producer in, Roger Mamos, a few weeks back, and she'll be turning 98 in October.
Oh my.
She's still alive. And she was one of the blacklisted actors. But when she was young, her parents were college graduates in the 30s, when she was growing up, and she decided she wanted to be an actor. And she left New York and came to California. And within 5 days of being here, she was signed to Paramount Studios, and she did 54 films with Paramount and MGM, and before the blacklist went on.
Wow.
But then she reinvented herself during that time and became a world activist and helped the hungry and helped homeless and helped change people that had cystic fibrosis and cerebral palsy. She did. So she reminded me of what you're doing in essence. I know that seems like it's a huge, because she was on Life magazine in the 50s. I mean, she was that important. She was and she's still got the vibrancy, believe it or not, close to 100 years of age. But the thing that I saw that parallels what you and she have are a dedication to what your heart wants you to do. She writes music. She's not a musician. She designed clothing. She's not a clothing designer. She did help the homeless. She's not Mother Teresa. And you seem to be doing similar with your TEDx Talks and with the acting that you're doing. It's almost like you're fulfilling a need and a dream more than you are just trying to get jobs.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. First of all. yeah, I just follow my heart, my intuition, and I just kind of, when I get an idea or a potential opportunity comes up and I know that I'm supposed to do it and I'm not really sure why, I just do it. And 99 times out of 100, there's the reason is perfectly clear when it's finished. You know, it may lead to something else, or it's able to help me learn and grow during the process. It's able to help other people learn and grow after they've watched it or read it, or you know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
And
because shared experience is how we help others to learn without having to
Totally.
make the same mistakes or go through the same depth of obstacles that we've had to overcome.
yes, and all along the whole trip that I've been on, it just continues to strengthen my foundation, which allows me to do these things on a little bit bigger scale each time.
Yeah.
And I want to do that, you know, even though I'm doing it with shaking knees. I just kind of feel like I'm supposed to, and it's where my heart is, you know. I just want to make a difference positively as well while I learn and grow myself.
And you're a father.
And have fun. Yeah, I have a 21-year-old son.
Yeah. So this is also something that I mean, I have a Chihuahua. I don't have a son.
Hey,
so
love is love.
But still, there must be another level of appreciation for what you're doing when you can show your son that what you want can be attained if you work hard for it. And I mean, you're a self-published author, and award-winning author. And many people, they have to go through so many schools and be brought in, and you took the reins and decided to do it yourself. And I think looking at that from a child's perspective, whether
Yeah.
you're 21 or 12, it really is a motivational thing that his friends can even see, you know, because not everybody's father is like that. They, you know, they do this one job they had their whole life, and maybe they're successful at it, but your passion's running all over the place, and I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's a really creative kid himself. He's a very talented photographer and videographer, and he's also an amazing welder, and he does a lot of
really?
creative welding.
He's an artist.
Yeah, and so, you know, he's very independent, and you know, we have some wonderful talks. We just chatted the other day about some things, and I've learned to just kind of let him. All I really try to do is just be a good example, and if earlier on I would try to kind of force feed stuff down him, you know, but that didn't work because he needed to kind of make his own mistakes and learn it his own way.
Yeah.
But
It like bounces off of them when you try and do that.
exactly, and so I found, but just by continuing to do what I'm doing and just being try to be a good role model, it's I think it's been good for him, and it's starting to kind of rub off, and I'm not having to spoon feed it when we don't need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's giving almost back to you because you see that his...
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I really think kids are our biggest teachers, and so I'm very proud of him, and it's just getting better and better, our relationship.
That's great. So he's 21. He's legal now. He can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're
Oh
scaring
my
me.
God. Well, forget it. He's not. He's still your boy. But thinking about that, and I've been going through some of the things you're doing, and we're going to talk about some of the projects that are active now and that you're working on. But
Yeah.
my question to you is, how do you keep the momentum up? Because, and let me I make the question complete. When you've done a project, and I've done things, I'm speaking, you know, empathetically at the same time here. When you're done, there's a high that you have of accomplishment, and then all of a sudden there's a drop off of what do I do now? How do I get myself and keep the momentum that I've just had in this last project and continue on? How do you find that you reset, re-energize, and start to hit the tackles again?
It's gotten a little easier for me as I've gotten a little further along my path. It's not easy. You know, going way back when I was doing triathlons and I did my very first Ironman, you know, and it was just a wonderful experience. And in my mind and my heart, I kind of knew that it would be a really great experience and that I wouldn't really have any problems. It was like almost a premonition, and I just felt totally alive those
and it's a
12
mindset.
hours. And
it's a powerful mindset.
yeah.
Think of the opposite. I'm not going to make it. My tire's going flat. I'm going to get a pull up at a hamstring, and that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just tried to have fun, and I just felt totally alive the whole time. But when it was over, it's just like, wow, I trained all this time for this thing. Now what? But you know, I continued to do triathlons for a few more years and did another Ironman, and then I revisited that like 15 years after that and did 2 more. You know, but currently with what I'm working on, I don't know, it just feels like I have so many kind of little things that I'm working on, or potential things that I'm working on, that just kind of helps me keep my momentum going, and as my foundation gets stronger and I'm doing things on a bigger scale, that really helps feed me. You know, initially when I started 6 years ago, after I left my family business, and the first book kind of came through me, and I wrote it and just kind of self-published it, just kind of I didn't really know what I was doing,
Right.
but I did it. And so it was a little harder then to maintain some of that momentum, and I did a lot of pushing instead of maybe slowing down.
You have
at
to do a lot of
times.
believing in yourself without the outside world really giving you any accolades for it yet. It's like you have to keep pushing until you get to the
Yes.
goal, and you don't get the pat on the back really through the process.
Right. I mean, I got a few pats, and it was like it was nice to get some accolades, but yet I'm very, very self-motivated. I'm really lucky that I am.
Yeah.
That really fuels my fire just in and of itself. But it's gotten easier. You know,
Mhm.
earlier on, like I said, when I would push, it would be like I would try to force something to work or to happen, you know, instead of work smarter.
And sometimes I bet there's still those days you feel like, I don't think I should force today because it's just not working.
No, totally. And I
have those
don't. I go
days.
hike and I just take a rest. I'll read, you know, and it's amazing when I do take those days or even a week at a time. It was hard at first, and sometimes I feel like, gosh, dang it, I should be doing something. But I come out of those breaks so much more energetic and creative and fueled, and stuff usually comes to me.
Well, it's like fitness. People think that you grow during the workout. Well, you grow during the rest
Yep.
and the recuperation. So
Yeah.
when you're basically you're letting yourself download, you know, and completely just reboot, and that's when you can see things clear again. Because I find that, and I've got some friends that I used to do a lot of triathlons and ultra endurance races, and when you get stuck in a cycle of chasing, and you know, have friends too probably that until they get injured they don't stop because they have that high at the end of it and they don't know where else to get it.
I overtrained
Yeah,
at times, for
yeah.
sure.
And it can get you, and you can get stuck in there. And there's one person I can think of specifically that literally 35 weekends out of the year, it's some triathlon, some event, and it's going to kill you at some point. It's going to age you. But I think it's a protective thing because they know it. It's an accomplishment you can talk about. It's still an accomplishment. I don't care, you know, whatever level, but it doesn't achieve what their real desire is to be maybe successful in some other way.
Yes, and I, you know, I totally relate with that, and that was a great analogy. And I was kind of like that in some of the ways earlier on, you know, as I was writing books and trying to do things, and a lot of things for the first time, you know, whether it was acting something or do my first short film or what have you. But I would kind of get a little bit of a high from that. But as I've learned about myself and become more comfortable with who I am, I don't need those wins as much, you know what I mean, to
Right.
feed my ego, or you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
I'm more at peace
sometimes
with
even
myself just for who I am.
Exactly. We would have to do something to make us feel like we were deserved of some sort of a praise.
Yeah.
When
and-
now it's just praise myself because I'm here. You know?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
and I'm having fun doing what I really want to do, and maybe this will have a positive effect on somebody else, instead of needing to fill that void because I'm not feeling as worthy as I should about who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my birthday's coming up next week. I'm going to be older, 48, and one of my clients gave me a book. Thank you. Thank you. Did it all by myself. And one of my clients gave me a book, Codependent No More, because I'm in between relationships, and being in California and being a solo project and not having family close by, I've definitely made some mistakes in my relationships, trying to make that person and that person trying to make me more than what we are supposed to be to each other. You know?
Right.
You know, which is unfair to them, which is unfair to all of us. So I'm finding that it's giving me I've got a new motivation now to try and, you know, business-wise and client-wise, that's never been a problem, but relationship-wise, you know, this is something now it's my shaky knee thing to go out there and you know, start again and expose your soul to someone and hope they're not going to leave you, cheat on you, make fun of you, judge you, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's basically what the acting world is too.
Let's say that again.
The acting world, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
going out
all
for
the
a role.
rejections from, you know, do 30 auditions before you book something or whatever.
And sometimes you get in a flow of, I'm going to go into this audition. I know I'm even right for it. I'm going to have a great time. And when you go with that attitude, you go ahead with the
Everything's
story.
energy. No, I agree. You know, and
You get the call back.
yes, I'm finally starting to feel more comfortable. I mean, you know, I've been here in LA for 2 years and started booking stuff probably about a year ago when I started getting a little bit more confidence and skill. But just recently, I've just stepped through another hoop's not the right word, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of my own self-confidence. And
Like another door is open.
I'd love to have this, but if I don't get it, I'm still me, and I still like who I am, and
Right.
it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to be free during this audition, just to you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So and the same thing goes with life.
You let go of the importance of it.
Yes.
You know, in letting go, you're able to grab a lot more of the things. Because
Yeah.
your hands are free.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's metaphorical.
And the people that are around us sense a difference in the energy, and they don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't want to be around someone who's kind of feeling needy or what have you. You know what I mean? Or desperate.
Yeah, and that's absolutely the case. You feel that energy is I don't know, and I don't drink a lot of coffee, and I'm not around a lot of people that have a lot of stimulants. But sometimes I find that people that are nervous to drinking like 4, 5, 6 cups of coffee a day, and
Or smoke.
there's smoke on top of it too, which is something that seems like almost every Prius driver I've been behind in the last 2 weeks has a cigarette dangling out the window, which is
Okay.
It's funny because they're gunning it. They're from light to light, and they're smoking something. I'm like, what'd you get a Prius for? It's like,
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
come on,
Get a Mustang.
Yeah, get something at least gives you a little bit of
Muscle car.
a visceral response when you gun it. It's just not fair. But talking about motivation, you and I had I think you met him. I've only seen him in shook his hand once, but Wayne Dyer passed away recently. I guess
Yeah.
it was last month. It was the beginning of September.
A
or the
couple
end
weeks
of-
ago or something.
Yeah, it was very recent. And he meant a lot to me with respect to the simplicity of his messages. You know, he really didn't go. I mean, you know a little bit more about him than I do, I think.
A little bit. I've listened to some of his books on CD, and I went and did a Hay House cruise way back in 2009, right after I had left my family business and had written the book, and he was on there as well as some other authors, and it was really cool. And I guess for me, he helped me kind of remember some things that I think we all already know coming into this life that we kind of
Can you give a couple examples, maybe? Or?
Well, I don't know, just truths. You know what I mean? I believe in reincarnation and all that kind of stuff, and just, we
energy doesn't disappear.
Right. And so I just think he just kind of helped me remember some universal truths, if you want to call it that. Yeah. But what I kind of liked about him was he had a lot of warts, figuratively. You know what I mean? I think he was an alcoholic. He'd been married many times. I think he probably had some
other things,
womanizing things. You know, I mean, I'm not bagging on him at all.
No,
I mean,
he was human.
He was human, but he shared that.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of guts. I mean, we're all human. We're all spiritual beings having human experiences.
Well, he sounds like, if you watch the Getting Clear thing on HBO, he sounds like L. Ron Hubbard, but like Glinda the Good Witch versus whatever the Wicked Witch of the West was. Like they have a similar personality, they have a similar background of what they've gone through, and one chose to use it for evil, and one chose to use it for positivity and for clarity.
Yeah, he's, geez, I mean...
Sorry, Scientologists, but L. Ron, I think you figured out at this point he was a little whacked out.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne, I guess, has been writing since the mid-'70s, and so all that time, he's still learning and growing himself, and, his message gets more focused or whatever. I mean, he has many messages, but it really, I think it all comes down to just, it's already inside of us.
Yeah.
We're enough.
And family.
And that's what I like to try to tell people too.
And he made it a really, I think that his energy towards his family changed too when he reassessed all of his life issues and, like you said, his warts that he had. And the work that he did just at the end of his life, I think, surpassed any negativity that he may have created in the past.
Yeah, and we really can't judge anybody anyways.
No.
And so
we do automatically. We can't help it, but
right.
we should stop. There's that saying, you probably saw it on Facebook, I don't mind if you judge me, just do everything perfect the rest of your life, okay?
Exactly, right. Right. So no, he really helped a lot of people.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about first your short film, because it's been a while, and just want to remind people of Guitar Man.
Yeah. Thanks.
Tell me a little bit more about it. I saw it. I loved it. I like the comedian guy in it.
John is a good buddy of mine. Oh,
is he really?
He's a very talented man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was funny.
He is a good guy.
But tell the audience a bit about how that came about. It's an interesting story.
Yeah, I lived in Reno for 4 years after I left my family business to kind of reinvent myself and also to reconnect with my son, who lived in the Tahoe area. And so I just after I wrote the books, I knew that I would need to be in front of people, and that terrified me. So I started taking community college speech classes there. I did Toastmasters for a while. I even co-hosted my own internet radio show for a little bit. Was a seasoned person, you know what I mean? That was terrifying, but it was a good experience for me. And I decided to take a beginning acting class because I thought that would help me become more comfortable. Well, I found out I kind of liked it. Felt kind of healing for me. And I met a young filmmaker. And shortly after that, I kind of had the idea for Guitar Man come to me in a dream. And I wrote it down and gave Michael, the filmmaker, Sweeney, a call and asked him if he wanted to hear an idea I had about a potential short film. And so we got together, and he loved it. Like 2 weeks later, we're in the streets of Reno filming in the evenings, just utilizing a lot of the folks we met down there. And it was just really an amazing experience because I'd never acted before. I never played guitar in front of anybody before. I was a closet guitarist.
And you're really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it was very empowering in so many different ways. And we put it together, and we sent it to like 11 film festivals, and it just really woke me up to a whole nother way to put positive, creative things out into the world. So it was really a benchmark thing for me.
So literally the thought in your mind to sending it off to film festivals was about a 5-month period? Maybe less?
Now, what do you mean?
Starting from, you had the idea, you went to the filmmaker, and then how long did it, I mean, this is quick.
We filmed it in about 3 days.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days. And then we edited it, and I started sending, we probably...
Not even 5 months, 2 months.
Maybe a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And how long did it take to self-publish the book?
Create Space that is a part of Amazon was not available then, like that print-on-demand thing. So I ended up just finding my own editor, finding my own layout person, and found a printer, and I just ordered 2,000 copies. I just went gung-ho. Now it's a lot easier. You can
Where do you go?
print on demand.
What's it called? Amazon's?
Yeah, Amazon Create Space, I think.
Remember that.
And that's how I did Finding Your Voice that way. And it's so much cheaper to do it that way because you can just order whenever you need them.
But and they're both available on Amazon, but they're also available at your website, gbrianbenson.com.
Yeah,
that's G Brian, no dots between the G and the Brian.
And so Guitar Man was really a cool experience for me.
Now, with that, you have a new project that you're not completed yet. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, it's basically completed. It's just being kind of, just got final. The color correction just got finished, so it should be done probably in a week or so. It's called Searching for Happiness,
and it's a short.
And I wrote it about 3 years ago, and I ended up moving to LA 2 years ago, and so it was kind of on the back burner. And then I met a young filmmaker here who I was in a short film of his, and he was a very talented, mature young man, and I asked him if he wanted to do this with me, and so he did. His name's Nye Green, and I'm really excited. Searching for Happiness is different. It's black and white. There's no sound, and we've got a really awesome score by a college student named Toby Sheriff, who's in the USC Film and Scoring program, master's program, and so it's kind of a cross between kind of a French noir movie and a silent film, but I won't tell you everything, but we use color in it as well. Color pops up during certain scenes, and so it's kind of unique.
To emphasize emotion and clarity and
random acts of kindness.
Excellent. Well, we're listening to G. Brian Benson. You can go to gbrianbenson.com, and this is See It Clearly. I'm your host, Michael Carson, and we have now Melody Gardot's Who Will Comfort Me. I thought it would be kind of good because, when you leave an audition and you got to get back into the 405 traffic, and you could have said that line 6 different ways.
I know.
Who's there to comfort me after that? So let's listen to this as we play out into the commercial, and we'll be right back with more See It Clearly.
My soul is so weary and beaten down from all my misery. Yeah. Oh Lord, who will comfort me? My soul is so weary and beaten down from all my misery. Yeah. Oh Lord, who will comfort me?
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
I lost 4.5 inches on my waist. I went down 2 loops on my belt. I've lost 10 pounds.
Hi, I'm Michael Carson, America's fitness coach. Here to teach you how to burn body fat with every meal in only seconds a day. Fit in Seconds is a video workout program designed to accelerate your metabolism, resulting in burning fat with every meal. My Fit in Seconds video workouts will train your metabolism to use food as fuel, not as storage.
With Fit in Seconds, I lost 27 pounds and 5 inches off my waistline.
It's time to get fit in seconds.
Hi, this is Ella Joyce. You remember me from Rock and the movie Set It Off and Tyler Perry's Temptation. Would you like to learn some of the dances from the 60s and 70s to some good old soul and funk music? Come on down to Elite Dance Studio in Woodland Hills every Friday from 8 to 9. It's a 1-hour sock hop, and if you want to know more about it, go to funkasize.com.
Every Friday night, 8 p.m., join Ella Joyce as we funkasize. Funkasize.com. That's Funkasize. Funkasize.com. Every Friday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's only 1 hour, people, at the Elite Dance Studio, 6431 Independence Ave, Woodland Hills, California, 91367. Only $10 a class. We're doing this sock hop style.
This is an Al Jarreau cover of a James Taylor song, Fire and Rain. And back in my acting class days, they said, you have to pick a song and you have to sing it in front of the class. And you can play it really low in the track, but you have to sing it. Wow. So could you crank this a little bit, Richard? I had to sing this in front of 45 people.
Ouch.
I had to sing it like with a soul and move around and dance. And afterwards, Stephanie, oh, what was her name? Stephanie Fury. She was the acting teacher, and she saw me as just like a physical fitness guy. I didn't think I was this. And afterwards, she gave me great praise and said, "Who thought that would be in you?" And I must have sang this song 1,500 times in a week to try and get it right.
Oh my
And then,
gosh.
yeah, so that was about 10 years ago. I won't try and do it now, and I won't destroy the audience's ears trying it either. But this is a great version of this song.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about wishing you could see someone again that you thought you would possibly see again. And I think we all have someone in our life like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, not to be a bummer, we're back to see you clearly. You just give a TEDx talk that was pretty powerful. And be yourself to free yourself, and how to find your personal freedom were the themes of the TEDx talk. And you had some points that you made about how you took your personal journey from leaving your family business to becoming what I call the Renaissance man, who's doing basically everything his heart feels it should do, and takes the time and the effort to make happen. So,
Yeah.
so tell me about the TEDx talk and how it went and how it affected you and them.
Thanks. It was a great experience. I worked really hard on it. You know, I found out about 3.5 months before the date, and I set a goal to try to have it written like in maybe 4 to 6 weeks, which I did, and so to give myself a lot of time to practice it. You know, that was.
Did you change it a lot after you wrote it? Does it evolve?
A teeny. Yes, that's a great question. It does evolve a little bit. A little bit it did. You know, as I practiced it, sometimes, you know, I'll say something, it looks good on paper, maybe it just doesn't feel like the way I'd say it potentially. So I'd tweak that a little bit. But you know, I was a little nervous. I was more excited. You know, I really felt like it was a big step for me, and I felt like it was time. I'm ready to do this, you know. And so I was really excited. So I worked really hard to be prepared, so I could kind of ease into it rather than be really, you know, frenetic
Exactly.
and stuff.
When you're prepared, you're always more relaxed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience. It was in Pasadena, and had to give it a couple times. We had rehearsals, which was nice, just to get that first time or two out of the way with some people in the audience just milling around, putting stuff together, what have you. And then yeah, the day it happened, it was good. You know, I'm proud of it, and I'm happy with how it turned out. You know, it's on YouTube now, and it just gave me a lot of confidence. You know, just like a lot of the other things that I've done have, and that we do. So that was some good grammar there.
Hey,
I got good grammar skills.
You got me speaking well.
I
too.
do.
Don't worry about
I do. Yeah, you're not a writer.
No, I think it's from all the texting. We're getting our texting grammar.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah. So it was fantastic though, and you know, basically, be yourself for yourself. Then, in parentheses, how to find your personal freedom. I basically told my story of the last 6 years of my journey from leaving the family business to kind of getting to where I'm at now. And I had 5 main points of some lessons that I kind of learned and utilized along the way that I wove the story through.
And when I was listening to it, it was interesting because, and take this with the way,
of course,
it feels almost like it's the Wizard of Oz. It's like you're traveling from one thing to the next to find your journey of exploration to get to the end result. So each one of these steps is like, one of them is the bravery, one of them is the knowledge, and the other one is the jump into the unknown, and whatever they were. But let's go through a couple of the 5. But that's what I thought when I was listening to it. How it was your Wizard of Oz journey.
Wow. Yeah. My Wizard of Oz journey. The first point was listen to your intuition and be open to whatever comes your way. And basically, my intuition told me to leave my job. And I had no idea what I was going to do, but I just felt like I was supposed to do something else with my life. So I did. And
that had to be so scary.
It was, but I was just...
Did you have a lot of savings?
A little bit, not a ton.
But you weren't like the kids that can just come out here. You got a brand new BMW and a condo, and if it happens, it happens.
No, I mean I had enough to feel comfortable for a little bit, but I just knew that I was supposed to do this. I just felt supported
by the universe.
Yeah. And so I did that, and it took a year from the decision to leave because we decided to sell the business, and it took a while to list it and find a buyer and do the exchange. And so that last year I was so burned out and wanted to just begin my life, even though I didn't know what it was going to be. I fell out of balance. And so I'm always one to try to work on myself and be the best version that I can be. And so I just came up with a handful of things to keep myself in balance. It helped me. My intuition kind of said...
And you went to yourself to fix yourself.
Yeah.
How easy is that compared to people looking outside to find somebody to fix themselves?
Sometimes that helps. Sometimes it doesn't because we don't really own it that way. If we're... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes you do need the perspective from outside to push you in the right direction.
And believe me, I've had help and lots of people that just maybe tweaked me or realigned me, but then it still continues to be about my own intuition.
Right. You're seeking it as opposed to people trying to drive it into you.
Yes, I'm not asking anybody to do it for me.
Right,
but we all need people to inspire us or
teachers are everywhere.
Exactly.
God,
right.
and they're not necessarily teachers. I find I've got so many life lessons from people that they have no idea what they gave me.
Exactly.
It's beauty.
Amen. So I felt like I was supposed to expand the list. I did, and it became Brian's list. All these different ways to stay in balance, and I wrote it, and just self-published it, and it just opened me up into kind of a whole new direction, and so. I moved to Reno and just kind of began to reinvent myself, even though I didn't really know what that meant.
But you took the steps to do it.
Yes,
and that's the thing. You can't, because you don't know what's outside your door until you walk outside the door.
Right.
And that the comfort of the home, the metaphorical comfort of the home, if you don't leave that comfort and have the shaky knee thing like you were talking about, you never know what you're made of. You never know if your dreams that you potentially have that in I mean, we know like you said, you follow your intuition. And so many people don't. They follow what they think they're supposed to follow, and they...
Well, I did for a while too,
And it's all because of fear. Fear of not being able to make it rather than fear of doing it. It's almost... Failure is more of a fear than the attempting of it, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's number one.
Yeah, that was number one. So number two was step out of your comfort zone. And basically, for me, as we already talked about it a little bit, I knew that I would need to be in front of people, so I started taking speech classes, Toastmasters, et cetera, et cetera. And I created a workshop, an interactive workshop called An Introduction to Balance. And I thought I was being kind of clever, because it was a way for me to give a workshop and have people in front of me, but not talk the whole time. You know, I'd have them do some things, and we discuss them as a group. But I found out it worked out really well. And so after running that a couple times in front of a group of friends, I started doing them in front of strangers. And then I decided to set up, I just got a wild hair like I always do, a book signing and workshop tour. And 3 weeks from that idea, I was on the road. I created a 23-day, 15-stop, 5-state trip in 3 weeks.
Oh my God! And you did it all yourself?
Yeah, I just called. I figured out the route, and then I just started calling cities along the way, calling maybe their chambers of commerces or bookstores or non-denominational churches.
Take notes, people.
Pardon me, yeah. And the very first place I went to was in a tiny little place called Delta, Utah, farming community, small. And the way I ended up there was I called their chamber of commerce and asked if they had any bookstores, and the woman kindly said, "No, we're pretty small." And I kind of told her what I was wanting to do, and she said, "How'd you like to speak at our monthly chamber luncheon or monthly,
the chamber
luncheon.
of commerce luncheon?" Yeah,
right.
Yep.
So I gulped and said yes, and so that was where I did my very first workshop. In front of about 10 really nice people, most of them farmers, and in the banquet room of a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it was terrifying, but I survived. They were focused on eating while I was trying to get them to interact with me, but they were kind, and I survived. And then, the rest of the trip was just a big learning experience.
And you said something very important there, and I have to cut you off, but I survived. And
and I did more than survive. I mean, it was empowering. I gained confidence, but yeah.
For the audience,
yes, I didn't
attempt
melt.
things because you're going to survive. You're going to learn from them. If you don't succeed, if you fail, you're going to learn you're going to learn more than you'll ever do if you do succeed every time. But I survived is such a great way of putting it, because it's the truth. It's like that's what you feel like. You got out of there with your life because you put it all on the line.
I'm making some fun about it too.
But it's metaphorical. But it's
right.
No, but it's the truth. It's like when you're up there, you're like, how are my armpits sweating as much as they are already? I mean,
right.
There's a nervous system response to putting yourself out there. Especially, farmers are not the most open to new ideas and situations.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Montecinto might be the only thing they're open to at this point is getting money from them, which is unfortunate. They're taking over. That's another dark thing. We won't go there. But yeah, so you stepped outside your comfort zone. You survived it.
Yeah, so the rest of the trip was very interesting too. Some places there would be absolutely nobody showing up, and that was humbling. And other places I'd have maybe 5 people, and it was.
Did you ever have one person?
I had one person at thing.
That's more awkward.
We just did it one-on-one. She got a personalized workshop.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it was a way for me to just get out of my comfort zone, gain confidence, learn my material. I had to go through that. And that has kind of helped me learn how to deal with some of the tough auditions I've had or what have you early on.
I had a funny situation that kind of just reminded me of it, if it's okay to share with you. I went to USC, and I had to leave.
I'm sorry.
Well, I had to leave because
I'm joking. I went to Oregon State.
I would probably had a better time there.
I
could have afforded it because my father didn't pay the tuition, so I had to leave.
Okay.
But cut to 26 years later, I was asked to speak at the USC Alumni Association luncheon.
Whoa!
So I'm speaking, I'm in a suit, and everyone there is from age, 40 to 100 actually, and they all have all their USC stuff. And I told them the story at the end of the speech that that because they all thought I graduated from there. I said, I did go here, but I was asked to leave, and they were all like,
they didn't write you out on a stake or anything.
But they it was funny because no way this would have happened when I was 17, 18 years of age, but now that I was in my, in my 40s when I said it to them, they're like, well, why didn't you ask someone, honey? We would have paid. We would have helped you. I'm like,
wow.
That's that easy to say. I mean, it's easy to say now, but
sure.
I was thinking, well, gosh, if I could have gone to the Alumni Association with a come hither face and said,
like, woe is me.
I don't have any money for the tuition for all the classes I just took or the place I just slept in for the last 4 months. Would you give me some money? They would have taken me by my boots and thrown me right out. But it was, it was the same terrifying situation because I'm there facing the executioners, as it were. But I survived
part of your life
it.
That was uncomfortable
dark.
or dark.
Yeah,
dark.
And thought that it was never going to get past. And I'm driving. I have my own parking spot at the place just for the event, of course. And
it was probably healing.
It was healing, and it was for me. At the most healing was telling them about it. because I let it out, and now that everyone knew about it, and I was no longer embarrassed about it. I was no longer, because it was some shame too. It's like I did really well actually for that year that I was there, and never could get the grades because I didn't have the $30,000 or so to pay. But I survived it. So, and that was outside of my comfort zone. So that was number 2 for you. So
number 2 was step out of my comfort zone. 3 is stay in life balance. And that's been interesting, that my first book was on that. And but I've found the last 6 years, it is like my foundation. It allows me to live a proactive life instead of a reactive life, staying in balance. And so, I hike whenever I can. And
when do you? What tells you you're out of balance? What signals do you get?
Oh, sometimes when we're tired, sometimes when we're feeling a little confused, sometimes when we're overworking, stress, sickness sometimes can be our bodies are great at telling us what we need or when we need to take a rest.
And you reminded me of something also that you said during the TED Talk, that was that first thing you did was to make sure you started to make the simple things happen, to drink the right amount of water, to eat healthy foods, to exercise every day, and to get the right amount of sleep.
Yeah.
Those 4 components, if you do those 4 things, your entire life improves no matter what is going on. Whether it's a beautiful life or not, it's going to improve. So
it will just help you have a better outlook too.
Yeah.
And it just and I also, a couple of the other things were just to make sure that I was spending some alone time every day, because that's how I regenerate. Some people, I'm a bit of an introvert, but some people need to be around others, but I need a little quiet time. And
I'm
then,
more like yourself.
Yeah, and then the other one was to make sure that I was being creative every day, and that can be many different things too for folks. And for me at that time was playing guitar.
Yeah, and that's something that everyone has a creative outlet. I don't care if it's a video game or if it's playing Candy Crush or whatever. If it's something that you want to do and it makes you feel good. For me, it sounds silly. I love to get like a Car and Driver or Road and Track magazine and just go from cover to cover looking at every stupid car thing that you can. It just reminds me of my youth, and that I feel like, wow, I'm on vacation.
There really is no wrong or right. Everybody's different, and for me, that sounds great too with a book or whatever. But for me, I love
something interesting.
No, I'm not a car guy, but I love to hike, and that helps me just do so many things that are important for me.
Do you have a dog?
I don't have any pets.
No, that's
no.
Mine's too small to go hiking. Unfortunately, so I carry him. I gotta, which is not so much fun to do
Yeah.
that. So, are we at number 4?
We are number 4. Number 4 was have fun and enjoy the ride, and that was I'm starting to get better at that. But that was really tough for me when I started writing the self-help books. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be perfect, because here I was writing self-help books, and I kind of lost the fun part of my personality and put a lot of pressure on myself, and so. It, I just
became your own worst judge.
Right. Oh, yeah. And so, as, I tackled that for a while. It's just, I've learned that you just need to be yourself, and it's okay, and just be authentic. And we're all different, and that's fine. That's the way it should be, but the more that I can just be myself and just allow my goofy part to come out, or serious part, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm goofy as hell, but I'm more serious than goofy probably in the real world, just because I'm always in kind of a destination rush. I want to be someplace and be doing my next thing. But what's number 5 before we?
Number 5 was there are no rules. Expect the unexpected. And I never planned on writing or acting or anything, but I just followed those little nudges, and they led to other things, which led to other things, which put me here.
That's fantastic. It's it's that simple, and everything you said there is attainable by anybody. It's not like you need to go and have money or situations.
It's already inside of us.
No, it's right here as soon as you wake up. This is Marcus Miller. He's going to be playing this song until we go to the commercial. This is See It Clearly. My name is Michael Carson. We're here every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. having a great conversation with Brian here. And when you come back, I think I might talk you into reciting one of your poems.
Sure.
If you go onto YouTube, you'll see that G. Brian Benson on YouTube has a lot of different poems that he actually recites, and there's a couple that reminded me of sort of a 60s sort of a vibe with that dark, weird look with the black turtleneck. It was awesome. You just need to be snapping the fingers at the same time. But maybe we'll come back. We'll talk you into doing that. Okay. All right. You can go to gbrianbenson.com in between the break. But you're on See It Clearly on LA Talk Live. We'll be back in about a couple minutes.
lose my mind.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
I lost 4.5 inches on my waist. I went down 2 loops on my belt. I've lost 10 pounds.
Hi, I'm Michael Carson, America's fitness coach. Here to teach you how to burn body fat with every meal in only seconds a day. Fit in Seconds is a video workout program designed to accelerate your metabolism, resulting in burning fat with every meal. My Fit in Seconds video workouts will train your metabolism to use food as fuel, not as storage.
With Fit in Seconds, I lost 27 pounds and 5 inches off my waistline.
It's time to get fit in seconds.
Credit Clean for You. We assist you in repairing your credit record and raising your FICO score. Credit Clean for You. We work in the community to help individuals who have bad credit and low FICO scores. We also help people who've been the victims of identity theft. Credit Clean for You will help you remove negative information from your credit report and will help you reestablish your credit worthiness. Plans start as low as $175 to begin. We also have plans for people on a tight budget with a pay-as-you-go plan. For more information, call 323-300-8085. That's 323-300-8085 or email credit.clean4u@yahoo.com. Once again, that's credit.clean4u@yahoo.com. Clean Credit for You, official sponsors of the Talk Live Broadcast Network and LA Talk Live.
Hi, this is Ella Joyce. You remember me from Rock and the movie Set It Off and Tyler Perry's Temptation. Would you like to learn some of the dances from the 60s and 70s to some good old soul and funk music? Come on down to Elite Dance Studio in Woodland Hills every Friday from 8 to 9. It's a 1-hour sock hop, and if you want to know more about it, go to funkasize.com.
Every Friday night, 8 p.m., join Ella Joyce as we funkasize. Funkasize.com. That's Funkasize. Funkasize.com. Every Friday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's only 1 hour, people, at the Elite Dance Studio, 6431 Independence Ave, Woodland Hills, California, 91367. Only $10 a class. We're doing this sock hop style.
Well, we're back. And we're back for a treat. We're with our Renaissance man, G. Brian Benson. Now, if you can picture a dark lit bar, your cigarettes are still allowed to be smoked. You got the smoke in the background. And G. Brian is about to hit the stage. He's got a black turtleneck on. He's got that cool belt, really tight. What are those? Those European sort of slim fit slacks that you had with the black socks?
Sure.
Yeah, it was good. He was snapping. And everyone in the audience is wearing sunglasses and has a little cup of Java. Really tiny cup because it's so potent. Any bigger than that, they might explode. And there it is on the screen right now. You see it.
Oh, God. Who is that guy?
That's you.
Oh, my.
So you wrote this poem, Light.
Yeah.
And I won't make you sing it over Wayne Shorter's song here, but I would love if you would recite it because I think that it'll resonate with a lot of people in the audience, and it resonated with me. And let's go ahead and cut that music and allow you to direct right to the camera. This is
My heart's beating all of a sudden here.
Me too.
Ooh,
Let's go for it.
All right. Can you see your light inside you? It shines both day and night, leading you both near and far, keeping your path in sight. Can you feel your light inside you as it courses through your veins, inspired greatness housed within to share for all to gain? Can you taste your light inside you, flavored sweet and pure. Water, land, and truthful foods grant energy and cures. Can you hear your light inside you as it comes to you in song, guiding you to flow each day, helping you stay strong? Can you touch your light inside you? Compassion, joy, and heat, a tender kiss, a warm embrace, rituals to be complete. Can you sense your light inside you? It's spoken from within. Hunches, feelings, heartfelt signs, giving life a whole new spin. And will you trust your light inside you? Your gifts, your being, your core. True greatness lay in wait to be shared, enjoyed, explored.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, man. I like that. It really throws me back into the 60s. I don't know why. I just have this whole, the girls with the real giant eyelashes and the tight sprayed
boots.
hair and the go-go boots. The whole Nancy Sinatra look.
Yeah.
When did you write that?
When did I write that? Probably maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
I think it would be a great theme. This is going to seem like a weird tangent, but I used to do some group therapy work at UCLA with the sororities and girls with eating disorders, and this would be great for young women as well as men, because women seem to be they're so judged now by the media and everything they wear, how they look, every pound that they have or don't have, every Kardashian lookalike that they might be or not be, and this is a great positive,
thank you,
cool thing that you should have it on a placard and sell it to like Z Galleries and have it there. You do have a lot of sayings that are really,
thank you,
they're yours. They're not something that you took off of you did a library search and found it, which I've found people do that. They do it on Facebook all the time. They don't put the author's name under the quote. They take it as their own, and that's foreboding.
I know sometimes it's tough because nobody's really coming up with anything new, but yet everything that I've written has just come from me and from my own learning and growth experience, and thank you.
Do you have a book of compiled poetry?
Well, in Finding Your Voice, that poem is in there, as well as probably 7 or 8 others.
And this is available at your website, gbrianbenson.com, and at amazon.com.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you wanted an audio version of Brian's list, that also you can get on gbrianbenson.com, which is kind of nice as a gift to give to someone to put in their car and drive with a little positive affirmations, because most of us live in a metropolitan area where we have to deal with red lights and
traffic
and commuting, and just to have something positive as opposed to turn on the radio and hearing that there's a SIG alert. And although, what is a SIG alert?
I don't know.
I think it's
is it
pull over and have a cigarette. I think they're saying.
Is it a pollution thing, or is it a traffic thing?
No, it's a traffic thing in California, in Los Angeles specifically, the Los Angeles County. They say there's a SIG alert on the 118, which is.
Does that stand for something?
I don't know. Signal alert? Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Have never been able to figure that out. Signal. All right. Yeah. Well, there we go.
All right.
Yeah.
As we digress.
So if you come to Los Angeles, there's a SIG alert, then you know that there's a signal. But still, pull over and have a cigarette, because it's going to take a while to get through that area no matter what. So you're going to be on a TV show called Sangre Negra.
Sí.
Sangre Negra. And it's going to be and it has an interesting cast. Go down some of the list of these cast members.
Well, it kind of keeps growing. It's a very, very diverse cast.
It's like Sharknado, the TV show.
Yeah. Well, it's like a cross between Dallas and The Sopranos.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's Eric Estrada's in it, Eric Roberts. I think they have an agreement with Issei Morales, who's currently on The Brink and been in a lot of stuff. I don't know. I'm just an actor, but I mean, I hear some really neat things.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer, and it's supposed to come out in September, October?
Yeah, actually, they're going to have the premiere, the pilot episode this Friday.
You can go to sangrenegratheseries.com.
Yes, and it's going to be, it's really, I'm really proud to be involved with it. It's a couple of guys are kind of doing it themselves, and it's really turning out nice. And so they're going to show the pilot this Friday, and we already had kind of a pilot premiere at the Fonda Theater a couple months ago, and it was fantastic. It was really well received. They did the Hollywood wrap on it on Channel 7 News that night at 11 for 2 minutes, and it really got some great positive feedback. And so since they are doing it themselves, they're still getting, they've got a lot of investors. They're still getting some more, and we're kind of filming off and on, but we're hoping to just line out the next, the 13 episodes of the first season.
And it's going to be available where?
Well, it's going to be on a whole bunch of different places like Comcast, Direct TV, I think Dish, Verizon Fios, On Demand. Someplace else I'm not, it'll be on my website. As soon as I know, I'll let people know. But they have some interesting big name places that are interested in covering it. They just need to see a few more episodes.
Cool. And you've shot how many scenes?
My character is introduced in the second episode, in the first scene in the second episode.
Do you have a Spanish accent in this?
No, I don't.
No?
I play me.
That'd have been hilarious.
Caucasian.
Caucasian
Yep.
through and through?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. So, besides that, a minute of failure.
Yes.
Tell me about a minute of failure.
Gosh, that's crazy. That I couldn't recite it for you right now because I don't have it memorized, but I was doing this writing class like 6 years ago, right before I left the family business. I did this once a week thing with some other writers, and they had a what do you call it? Just an exercise where they gave us one line and we had to write something, and mine was a minute of failure, and so I wrote that poem in 15 minutes.
Oh wow,
it's crazy. And I have a little YouTube video of it, and it's just basically kind of just reminding people, we're all going to fail, but just to keep getting up,
and a minute of failure.
There really isn't anything. It shouldn't even be called failure because we're just trying things. We got to try things. We got to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we learn to grow.
I think that the words, failure and unfortunately they're overused. Because a failure is not something that just happens because you didn't make something one time. I mean, that's a learning lesson.
Right.
How many times have we not made a red light? Is that a failure? Or not made a green light, rather. We can get really deep in how we fail all the time. And I think that the voices that we have in our own head, and sometimes around other people, will say, "Oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that?" No. You got to avoid that because that's a moment of failure. When you allow yourself to be the reprimander of your own psyche, it's like, come on, who else is going to be on your side if you're not on your side?
Yeah, and stuff happens. We're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. We just kind of keep forgetting how great we are, truly, and worthy, and all that kind of stuff. So, yep.
Well, want to make sure that we see you. We're going to gbrianbenson.com. We have several books that you can get. One is Finding Your Voice, which is a series of actual poems that you have.
Well, yeah, there's the poems, there's stories, there's blogs, there's quotes, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's an exploration of a few years of your life, almost, actually.
Yeah.
And Brian's list, I think, is a great place to start. You can get this or the audio version on CD. And the reason I like it is because there's just small little snippets that give you a brightening of your day. You don't have to read more than one page to get an insight on what you might want to share with someone else in your day. And when you do share that, there's a ripple effect of positivity. And that's one thing I'm trying to do is create positivity.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we see you there. Is there anything else you want to mention that you're going to be appearing at that we're forgetting?
See, not that I can think of. I'm blessed. There's a lot of potential cool things that are in the works, and if those happen, we'll talk about those later.
Well, excellent. Well, I do have one thing I'm going to be doing.
Yes.
I'll talk about.
Talk to me.
I'm going to be at Saturday, October 3rd. I'm going to be at the El Rincon PTA Parenting Workshop and Business Expo. Yeah, we'll be talking to 3 different groups about family fitness and how to really streamline and simplify health for your family, because all the things out there are trying to make them more complicated. And to find out more about that, you can go to erworkshopsandexpo.com. erworkshopsandexpo.com, and we'll be there on October 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. sharing family fitness, and I guess everyone is welcome to go. You don't have to be a family member because it's helping the PTA if you do join. And thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Michael.
I appreciate it. We're probably going to have you back again. We're going to force you to come
I
in.
hope so.
Yeah, I still have those pictures, so until we decide not to release them ever. Exactly. What pictures? For now, what pictures? No, but you'll come back when you're ready, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is See It Clearly. We're here every week from 1 to 2 p.m. We love being on LA Talk Live, and we love that you joined us. Thank you so much.
I'm all by myself in your silver light. I would gaze at your face the whole night through. I go out of my mind. every night. You don't care what I do. I go out of my mind. I go out of my mind, but for you, my mistress eyes are nothing like the sun. My hunger for her explains everything I've done. To howl at the moon the whole night through, and they really don't care.
Thank you for tuning into LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network, original reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk. Stay tuned.